Welcome into Authentic Story Making, everyone. I'm glad you're here. So, incidentally, today is Tolkien Reading Day. And so I'm going to do an impromptu video for you all. And I'm going to read one of my favorite Tolkien poems. Now, this is, of course, from Lord of the Rings. And it's the story of the Ent and the Entwives. So, initially, one of my favorite things about this poem, aside from just the fact that it's worded so beautifully and the style of it is one of my favorites, it's the mystery pervading the story behind it. And so we have the Ents who are they're lamenting the loss of the Entwives. And the mystery, the question there is, what happened to them? Will they ever return? Are they even still alive? Will there ever be this future reuniting? And the question is left unanswered in all of Tolkien's writing, and I think that's on purpose. And it just leaves us with this powerful question hanging in the air. But aside from that, the structure of this poem, it takes us through spring, summer, and then ending in winter. And the imagery there, I think, is very much on purpose. Kind of like the spring and summer of life, things going well, things growing, and then ending in winter. But there's this back and forth, this constant kind of disagreement between the Ent and the Entwife. And the imagery there, and I'm not sure if this is the original intended meaning by Tolkien, but they're both talking about how their land is best. Their land is the one that is fairest, and the Ent is trying to get the Entwife to come back to his land. And the Entwife is saying, no, my land is best. And to me, again, I don't know if this is the original intent, but it just is this really neat picture, I think, of our land being, our desires, our opinion of how life and things ought to be. And this kind of unwillingness to compromise that for someone else. So, ending it in winter is quite a powerful picture where everything is dying, and it's kind of this picture, this extreme picture of the end of all things, the end of days, the ending of life. And there's this beautiful kind of surrender and brokenness and willing to finally compromise and just to be together again and to go and find a land where both of them may rest. And I think that truth just runs deeply. That kind of story hits us humans, so poignantly because we are post-Eden and we are lamenting a loss of face-to-face fellowship with the Creator himself. And that is being restored and will one day be restored through Christ. But I think that's one of the reasons that kind of story just hits us, is because we feel it deep in our race, that loss. And it's just, it's a powerful story. And so I'm going to read it. And I have this vintage copy that I picked up from, incidentally, the Inklings bookstore. It's a used bookstore in Wisconsin. And I liked this copy. I have the box set in this version. And so that's what I'm going to be reading from today. So with all those thoughts in mind, let's just read through it together. How about? So it starts with the Ent. When spring unfolds the beechen leaf, and sap is in the bough, when light is on the wildwood stream, and wind is on the brow, when stride is long and breath is deep, and keen the mountain air, come back to me and say, my land is fair. The Entwife. When spring is come to garth and field, and corn is in the blade, when blossom like a shining snow is on the orchard laid, when shower and sun upon the earth with fragrance fill the air, I'll linger here and will not come, because my land is fair. The Ent. When summer lies upon the world, and in a noon of gold, beneath the roof of sleeping leaves, the dreams of trees unfold. When woodland halls are green and cool, and wind is in the west, come back to me. Come back to me and say, my land is best. The Entwife. When summer warms the hanging fruit and burns the berry brown, when straw is gold and ear is white and harvest comes to town, when honey spills and apple swells, though wind be in the west, I'll linger here beneath the sun because my land is best. The Ent. When winter comes, the winter wild that hill and wood shall slay, when trees shall fall in starless night, devour the sunless day. When wind is in the deadly east, then in the bitter rain, I'll look for thee and call to thee, I'll come to thee again. The Entwife. When winter comes and singing ends, when darkness falls at last, when broken is the barren bough, and light and labor past, I'll look for thee and wait for thee until we meet again. Together we will take the road beneath the bitter rain. Then we have this ending stanza from both of them, and it's just this glimmering hope of a new beginning. Together we will take the road that leads into the west, and far away we'll find a land where both our hearts may rest. One of my favorite poems, and I hope you enjoyed. And happy Tolkien Reading Day, everyone. Cheers.